How is it every freaking time in the last year that I talk shit, I end up being the one that has to freaking eat my own words? Like, what in the world is this shit? Like, honestly, swear to God. So we're out. We're out of the tournament. We're the only team eliminated after the group stage of first stand in like the most pathetic way possible. Let's get the format part out of the way now, because I know there are going to be some people that like really get upset about the fact that yes, we had a higher overall game win percentage than top did, but the tiebreaker is specifically the win percentage against the three teams that are tied together, of which we had the worst. I'm not going to fight that. We played like shit. We didn't deserve to go through. Like, I'm not going to sit here and try and make excuses or anything else like that. Like, the one thing I will say is I was very clear that I would have loved to have the tiebreaker, regardless of whether we were in the advantageous position or they were in the advantageous position. That didn't matter to me. I would have loved to have played those. But regardless, we still played like shit. Based on how we play, we wouldn't have probably won anyway. So I'm not going to try and even sit here and like blow smoke up your ass. Like, we suck. Even then, like, if you want to use like that game argument, like Hanwha Life was trying to let us win. I'm being on, like, that could arguably be considered match fixing what they were doing in our series. They were intentionally picking champions that was like, okay, if you let us get to level 16 or you fuck up like a mid-game team fight, like, we will win as we're supposed to. But we will give you a clear avenue to do so, given that you're the early game team and you should be able to get leads, to which they did let us get a lead in game 1 and game 2 and a tiny, tiny, tiny gold lead in game 3. But we found ways to chuck it every time and luckily brought back game 2. But like, not like, I'm not going to sit here and even tell you that the one win that we got today was like really deserved or like fully there. Like, it felt like they were playing with their food, as they should. They're the number 1 seed guaranteed. They had nothing to play for in this moment. So might as well mess around, have some fun, and see if, maybe top can, get their ass sent home in the process, because now Hanwha Life does have to play top tomorrow. So good luck to them. Have fun with that. But like, we should be utterly ashamed, being honest. If you're a TL player and for some godforsaken reason you're masochist enough that you decided to click on this video, click off. I don't have nice things to say. I just got to get it out. It's not a reflection of you guys. I love you. I hope you, at the end of the day, improve and get better for the next event, and that you make us proud on the international stage if you were to get there. But let me flame. This might be an overreaction, even though this isn't an overreaction video, but I think it's time for Impact to retire. Retire might be harsh, because obviously he's like doing well domestically, but like, it is a sad indication of where our region is at, that we cannot figure out a way to beat Team Liquid at Impact. And then he goes to the international stage and gets absolutely dunked on by everybody the entire time. It is unreal. Like, you compare the difference between 2019 Impact and now, and he's just a shell of himself on the international stage. He talked last year about nerves being a thing. He clearly has nerves now as well. Like, that hasn't gone away. In fact, it's a problem that's like manifesting itself later in his career that I don't know what you say or do about, but it's just bad. Like, I honest to God don't think Team Liquid's going to be able to go far at any international tournament when he's their top laner, because this is what you get. It's the same thing with like the top esports Jackie Love thing. I got shit for saying like, oh, Jackie Love just like doesn't show up on the international stage. You're coping. He's a great player. It literally just happened again this tournament. Like, sometimes players are just good domestically and good without pressure, or good in certain scenarios, and they're not good in others. And Impact on the international stage anymore, it's just not him. He's just not that guy. And I don't know what to tell you other than, if I'm TL, I know it sounds dumb, because like the Team Liquid philosophy for a lot of people has been like, oh, we have to make sure that we're not rotating through talent as much anymore, because people flamed us for that for a long period of time. But I've seen enough of Team Liquid impact on the international stage with any team that he's on to know that like, it's not going to work for whatever reason. It's just not going to work. So I don't know who you look at in terms of upgrades, in terms of somebody that can maybe get coached up to the point where they can finally beat them domestically and then try to show us something internationally as well. But it's just, it's bad. This tournament wasn't helping him at all in any way, shape, or form. He had that one good series against K Corp, which I know European fans are going to be like, oh, they were jet lagged, and you guys took advantage of that. To which, for the longest time, it was like, hey, you still got to show up. And while I still do believe that, you can't deny that really anymore. K Corp is continuously ramped up throughout this entire tournament, and they look good against Hanwha Life in an actual game versus us in our, hey, please win this game. I'm not one to use like comparisons like that, but when we're judging skill level of individual players and what was able to do against literally anybody as time went on, when you need to step up and continue to grow, he continues to show that he is not able to step up and grow in that level at all. And I love his personality. I really do. But like you're at this like weird impasse point for Team Liquid that you know what, I'll say, let me finish the other players. APA, brother, love you. Some of these games are getting bad. I love everything about APA. I love his mentality. I love how he handles the game. I love just everything about him as an individual player. But like, you can just tell that he's outclassed in these moments. Now, granted, he's still young and has time to continue to develop. And it's not like historically our native mid laners in North America have ever like been past this point where he's at right now, which is just getting dunked on by international mid laner. So, I mean, it's par for the course when everybody's like, oh, he sucks. It's like, okay, well, are you going to tell Bjergsen he sucks because he never got out of group stage at Worlds and never really looked all that promising through his string of games that he needed to? No, Bjergsen's still our GOAT. So APA still doing well domestically, but like, dude, it's got to, like, he's young enough in his career that you don't give him the impact treatment of saying that it can never happen. You hope that he can develop and get to that point. But like, you do start to like have that creep into the back of the mind of like, okay, is he hitting a ceiling? Is he hitting a point that he won't be able to overcome? Which, I don't know. I like his mentality. Maybe I'm biased towards him, and I think I definitely am biased, and I'll acknowledge that from the jump. So I'm willing to cut him more slack than I would most others, given that it is his second full year of professional play, given that he only played at the end of 2023. So I'm not that worried about this situation. Core JJ is a weird one. I feel like he had moments where he was really good, and then moments, especially in this Hanwha Life series, where he's just engaging on targets. That's like, why are we going in on that person when we know that they're not going to be able to die? It's a mixed bag with him. Given the last few international tournaments in general, it feels like that's been the pattern as a whole, so I won't spend much time on it. But dear God, is Yawn freaking good? Oh my God, I know I keep going on about it, but Jesus Christ, this kid he's him. I love it. I wouldn't say he's like, Kalist has like the public balls. Like it's just the two of them that like every time you watch them, like individual players on like lesser teams that aren't like Hanwha Life, it's like, oh dude, they're so good. I love everything about watching Yawn play. The game 3 Ezreal, he did have a fail flash moment, which was pretty bad, and some mispositioning, but I think like the whole team just realized that things were collapsing and just tried a little too hard. It felt like that game 3 felt a little weird. But when you look at like Yawn's overall package of what he brought in the 4 series that they played, it's clear that he is the best player on this team by a country mile. And I hope to God he gets some pieces around him that can perform to the level that he does on the international stage. Because if they can, then TL actually is a force to be reckoned with. But you need to be able to step up internationally versus just domestically. That's just the truth of this TL roster as it stands right now, and as it kind of has been internationally. Because, like, yes, last year they were able to take series off of Fnatic, who was the 2 seed from Europe. Great. They have not been able to overcome the Eastern hurdle that FlyQuest nearly did, or at least showed better promise in doing whenever they got out of quarters. But, like, this tournament is going to be really, really bad for North America, because like the growth possibilities for NA are tied to like multiple different factors, and there's no denying that international performance is one of them, even if you can like blend that in with other things to kind of make it so that like, oh, just because you have bad international tournaments doesn't mean that people would lose interest in your domestic product. Look at Brazil, for example. But North America, it's just our culture. We pride on winning, and when things are going bad, like it just snowballs from there. And we're already having issues with viewership and everything else around the league. The negativity that is going to come from this image that people are going to have of TL now, that is kind of similar to 100 Thieves in that they can't perform internationally. and they've never been able to. There was one event, one single time that we all reference back to now in 2019 where they pulled off some magic after having another terrible group stage. They won one best of 5, and that was the magic that we all had. Beyond that, they have never made it out of the group stage or Swiss stage at Worlds. They have never gone on to beat like a significant Eastern team outside of that one win in 2019. It's getting bad with this org for some reason, and I don't get it. But then again, like you look at everybody else, and it's like 100 Thieves. We lost to R7, so it's not like people look at us and they're not looking forward to us going to the international stage because they're scared that we will choke against everybody. Not that what we would have done would have been any worse and or better than what Team Liquid did in this tournament because they lost to the minor region team as well. Hello, this is him. Got it. Might come in tomorrow. I don't think I'm going to be able to make it in today. Sounds good. Thank you so much. Not like I got to wake up and watch League of Legends tomorrow. I can go in and get my contacts. Fuck it. But nah, it's weird that like whenever we go domestic, there is going to be this thought of like, why do we want to send Team Liquid to the international stage whenever this has already happened? And I'm not saying that I'm going to believe that way because you know me, whenever we go international, I'm going to talk my shit. I'm going to do my thing. But like, I'm well aware of how the community has historically reacted to this stuff as time has gone on, especially as rosters have stayed together for extended periods of time. And that is going to be a problem shortly for Team Liquid. And if I was them, personally, me, I know some people think this is a little bit drastic, but I would start looking at a jungle replacement for Umpty. I would start looking at bringing in a 6-man to maybe challenge them internally because, like, I'm sorry, but, like, for you guys, like, just winning North America should not be it entirely. Like, yes, you want to win an NA, but your goal should be to push yourself as an individual team to make sure that when you hit that international stage, you are prepped and ready for it as well. If that means bringing in a 6-man to push Umpty to make him better or even possibly replace Umpty, Impact, I don't think you can replace until he retires realistically, unless you really want to like break the mold early. Bro, I don't know. But this is bad. As a North American fan, social media is going to be ablaze. The comment section, European fans, get your licks in. You deserve it. I've talked a lot of shit. Go right ahead. You've earned it. But it's just like, I don't know what to do at this point. I don't. The international results are not good. And if we go into MSI and this exact same thing happens, like we're entering 2020, like post 2022 Worlds level of despair of like, are we ever going to be able to do something here combined with crippling viewership and everything else? It's like, oh God, being a North American fan is just constant beatdown after beatdown after beatdown. We need something positive to go on, and one win in a best of 3 versus K Corp is not enough to do that. It's just not. So we'll see. I don't know. But that's the end of my first stand coverage until our overreactions video on Monday after we see who wins this tournament. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. As much as I annoyed the K Corp fans, I'm legitimately pulling for them for the rest of this tournament. They're the one team from the West that I would like to see go far because it also makes Europe mad if they do well. So unironically, it's like the American thing to do to pull for them in this situation. Even if they probably don't want us pulling for them because we've been talking shit for the last week, I don't care. I'm still hoping it happens because I would like to see both European teams go straight through to the group or to the knockout stage of MSI, especially with China having to play Korea. I think it's going to be pretty fun, although it'd be hilarious, absolutely hilarious for Top to just randomly show up and beat Homo Life. But that's not happening in a million years. So for now, I am resigned to the fact that I need K Corp to make finals. And hell, they even took a game off of Homo Life. Granted, it was kind of off the back of a Homo Life throw, but I'm not saying it will happen. I'm just saying, like, you never know. Maybe. Narrative could be fun. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. NA fans, let's I need a drink. Thank God it's St. Patty's Day weekend. I'm about to get